Good afternoon. Welcome back to the stream. One thing gets fixed and another breaks. For reasons unknown, my starting soon screen is not moving today. Right after I've got my model moving again. The joys of technology. At any rate, we're continuing with the Gnomish Hierarchy game. I hope everyone's doing well. I hope your weekend has been lovely. Mine's been quite nice actually. The hot weather, it was kind of unpleasant when it was jumping back and forth between hot and cold every day, but now that it's actually decided to stick with hot for a little while, I've been enjoying it quite a bit. I know a lot of people prefer it when it's a little cooler, because, you know, when it's cold, put on some extra layers, you get warm, fine, whatever. When it's hot, there's only so many layers you can take off. But I think, considering where I am, it's not exactly a tropical region. It doesn't get that hot, so a little extra warmth is very much appreciated. Now, last we left off, we'd vassalized Vila, and we were looking at declaring on possibly Iberville, or one of the other colonizers, and propagating more wars over in this region. I think I'm currently, coring some stuff over here. And once those cores are finished, there should be enough provinces here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. To make a colonial nation, assuming that we get a colonial nation in this region. I couldn't actually tell you for certain. Besides that, I'm building ships. A bunch of them, because Iberville, right, is allied with Moonhaven, who's in a trade league, which means that between them, they've got a lot of ships to go around. We would be declaring on these guys, yeah, that's how we've got the claim. We also have colonialism on all of this. And a conquest claim from our subject. But it's still the same list of defenders at any rate. Which means we need a pretty sizable navy if we actually want to compete with them. But of course instead focus on these guys. I don't think anyone here has much in the way of allies. Right, these guys, I think even though they're tiny, this one is too big to take in one war. Yeah, if I don't co-belligerent them. And if I do, then that brings these guys, and quickly things escalate. Unlike the natives, these guys have comparable tech. I've still got a lot bigger army than they do. I'll wait and see what happens once the cores finish if I get a colonial nation down here, because there'll be more troops. These ships I've built here are transports, that's good. Let's grab all of them, all of these guys, and avoid our fleet that's protecting trade. A few ships are still being built. Bit of lag. Always happens at the start when you load up EU4. We're getting galleys. Okay, building up to force limit with combat capable ships. This is all transports. The rest of which are over here. And we've got a spare explorer. Good. One over here. Our actual exploration fleet is out there revealing sea tiles. Oh, this is interesting looking. All wasteland though, nothing habitable here. And it's not like this bit up here where there's the one habitable province surrounded by snow and ice. You just can't get anything here. There might be an island in this area that we can access. Remains to be seen. Besides that, there's all along the coasts over these regions. These guys have a vassal. Oh, we've lost conquest against our own guys, so that's not important. How large are you? More. Good. Fabricate there. We are probably going to go pretty Conquest Wild at this point, because we don't really have AE anywhere, right? Like 2 with Guard or whatever, but that doesn't matter. And there isn't really anyone to contest us in just taking over the whole New World, especially since it will go to colonial nations and we don't even have to core any of it. So really, as long as we've got the money and the manpower, we can go wild. And then build up enough strength with the colonies, that's fine, that we can return and declare on guards. I do want to beat them up, but I can take this land. And because why is Laurent not allied with us? Did I load the wrong save? Hang on a second. I think I might have loaded the wrong save on accident. Yeah, that is an autosave, whereas this is the actual... I think there was some kerfuffle with that province there, so I reloaded at some point. Yeah. Let's load that one, that should be the correct one. My bad on that, I just clicked continue game without thinking about it, but yeah, there was a little bit of nuisance at the end of last session. We can get that quickly sorted out. It's not like I've done anything yet, I've just been looking around and reminding myself of where we were at. So, irregardless of that, I think I will start with the war down where my armies currently are. Once the coring has finished. And then probably to the northwest where there's a bunch of provinces. Those are all of the like summer, winter, autumn court nations, like Fey nations. I think I played whatever there once for a short while. No, they're still not allied with us. I don't remember losing the alliance of Laurent. Oh, they've rivaled me. That must have happened shortly after and I did not notice it before the end of last stream. That can happen sometimes. If the AI runs out of appropriate rivals, they will just rival you even if you're their longtime ally. Okay, well that changes our situation slightly. We no longer have Laurent as a convenient shield. Our current relations are a vassal and we've got mill access. That's not actually a relation. Cancel military access here. And where else do I have it? Here. Alright, so first order of business is actually get new allies, and then we can look into starting wars. I will have to be a little bit more careful in that case on who I go to war with, because we can't afford to end up particularly weakened. Both Gowd and Laurent are very, very strong nations. I think they might be one of the strongest. Apparently we're #1 great power. Gowd and Laurent have around the same amount of dev and they are AIs, so they get some advantages. We get the advantage of being a person and being smart. Ooh, the command is also going completely out of control, as they have a tendency to do. Okay, let's gather all of you up again. Get them over here. So Laurent and Gowd are both our enemies. Who's interested in being our ally? A few people. Not interested in any of these guys. Not really interested in some of the smaller ones here. I kind of wanted to go to war against these guys and go northwards. That node does feed into our home node. Yeah, no, I'm gonna conquer these guys. They're not a suitable ally. Down here, Pearl's Edge, Neckcliff, Westham. By virtue of this being Amber Nova, you do have so much dev that even though they're quite small nations, they're fielding pretty large armies. I mean, 44 people. In fact, Westham is the Emperor, that's why they've got so much going on. They're not looking likely to be re-elected though. Okay, no, 1, 2, 3 votes for Westham. Istralor's got 2. Darwing, Barbaran. Okay. I'll absolutely take an alliance with the Emperor, yeah. We don't need to care about Wex anymore because they've lost the Emperorship. Okay, overall the order of operations is probably different in that case. If we can go after Laurent first, weaken them, and then Garrett will jump on the chance to declare independence with all of these guys, and we can jump on Garrett while they're distracted. Be sneaky about it all. We've got our colonists working down here. We have 3 colonists. 2 of them are here. Where's the last one? Up here, right? Because I need this colony to get bigger for my missions, yes? One of these. Yeah, any subject country, at least 10 cities is a colony in the Colonia de Lair region. Okay. We need to take Portnam away from Lauren as soon as possible. We also need Bavaria's provinces, which we can't really go after because they're allied with Laurent. And while I want to declare on Laurent sooner than later, right now they have us hopelessly outnumbered. We've got a bit of an edge in mill tech, though they do have defensive ideas, whereas my ideas are both for colonizing. We've got a DevCos edict active over here. I think that was to get all the provinces to 5 base production, right? This, no. This one, no. Where? There we go. All provinces in a Dragonspine area 5 production. We've done that. We can turn the edict off. Have a quick look at the estate manager. Is any edicts active? Nope. You guys. Where do I send you to get you to reveal that to me? Cleaved Sea Coast? There we go. Show me if there is an island down here. This is all land, right up to the edge of it. But down in this sea tile. You also take tech. Gain 5.7. We've almost got. We're like 3/4 of a way to max innovativeness, and it's ticking ahead. Tanking range, better units. We're only 6 years ahead of time. 873 mil power I'm willing to spend. I want to maintain that tech bonus, both for the sake of our conquests and as a deterrent to the AI. There is not an island or anything here, so this is just inaccessible terrain. Completely inaccessible. I have to see if any of the nations down here have anything to do with that. But yeah, after this conquest here, as I said, there's still the Fey nations up here. want to reveal that terrain. I don't know if these count as natives and our conquistador can just walk through there. Speaking of, election, re-elect, and I'll let that just tick down on its own. Speaking of the conquistador, where is he at the moment? He's exploring over here. I think he should actually be able to make his way north and then get to this area on his own, so that will happen in its own time. Here's my guys. Okay, 5 galleys, 27 transports, 50 light ships, and another 10 galleys. So 15 galleys effectively for our proper combat ships, and 15 light ships. They do have cannons on them, so it's not like they're useless in a fight. Oh, new colonial nation, Neo Widderchand. Ah, this one. Nice, excellent. What new Widderchand, not Neo. I mean, it all means the same thing. Alright. Now these guys, we don't need to give a stipend to or anything, because they're basically not going to be colonizing. There's nowhere really for them to colonize anymore at this point, since the other nations have spawned in. We just need to go conquer. Oh, we finished the arcane blaster. Let's see what that does. Inventions, battery, spark drive. Is that a tier 2 invention? Arcane blaster. Costs 100 crowns to activate, and we put this over our cap. Improves artifice regiments by plus 0.2 infantry fire and plus 0.2 infantry shock. Wonderful invention. No, we can't really use it right now, and we certainly do not have anywhere near the money required to be running artificer regiments. Not when they cost 50 a pop. Reform progress, diplomats, spy detection. Fleet movement speed. Sure. Let's spend some of the money that we do have on building. Get to manufacturing. Alright, you guys. We're close to force limit, but our army composition leaves much to be desired. Also, where's this? Oh, this 5k stack is keeping watch on the colonies. Do I need to have someone up here, now that I think about it? Yeah, there are natives here, so I do kind of need to protect this in theory. But at this point, even if there is an uprising, it will damage the colony, but it won't destroy it. And with the speed at which we're colonizing, it might not matter. But yeah, army composition. I mean, you've got 7k, I do not care. You've got 16k, you've got 9k. Actually, not concerned in the slightest about any of these guys. Our combat width is 25. Making 18 ducats. I don't really want to go over combat width. I'll just reinforce them with some more infantry and skip on the cavalry and artillery for the time being. Our harmony is still looking pretty good. We are like a third-ish of the way through harmonizing the Canorian religions. We've got the colony in Gardens of Doom. That's 1, 2, 3. With this 4. And then we'll grab an island here or something for the 5th. That'll be another colonial nation. This one will have a little bit of colonizing still to do. And the explorers out again. Where are you still exploring? South Sahel Coast, that's this bit. And West Salahad, so that's, I guess, this bit? South Sahel Coast, West Salahad, yeah. What are you exploring in the West Salahad? Like these 4 provinces down here. Get that done quickly, and then get the other one. In terms of expanding my colonial range, going down here is an option. Conquering in this area. Conquering in this area. I don't really have range anywhere here. I do want to get the first circumnavigation. No reason why that shouldn't go to me. And there's some more colonial range. More naval maintenance, and we also do get better ships. Pretty sure I don't have nearly enough money to actually upgrade the fleet. Most ships in the fleet can be upgraded. What about any of yours? Come dock, please. 248 to upgrade ships. 200 population in Neuros, or 30 crowns, or 50 population. Yeah, absolutely, that's super worth it. You're done there, and you can be upgraded, yes please. Right, now that we've got that plus 50% colonial range, we can suddenly explore a bunch further. What helps us? West Aelantir Coast. West Aelantir Coast, that's here, so that'll be a couple random sea tiles. Northeast Hallis. Northeast? That should be like here? Somewhere? Orlus's Lemon, that's this. And Northern Sea. Northern Sea. American Sea, Atlantic Coast, Ocean of the Lost? I don't know where that is. We will simply go down the list since we've got to explore all of it anyway. Some prestige and Diplo power, thank you. Okay, go back to protecting trade for a moment. Gain 2 base production in Willigent. Excellent. Never gonna complain about free development. Right, you have plenty of dudes. We can wait to take that. Is there an idea group I really want to get started on right now? We've taken the 2 colonization idea groups. So really, imagine quality ideas will be the next one to go for. Infantry combat ability is nice. Then it's like 3 naval ideas. Have ability. What do we actually have bonuses for? We get plus 10 to artillery. Our penalty is balanced out by a bonus for infantry and nothing for cav. Oh, we do take penalties for galley combat ability. I hadn't even considered that. Which means as soon as we've got all that lovely trade income coming from the colonies, we'll want to switch heavily to heavy ships. They're just very expensive right now. What idea group will be most beneficial for the artificer regiments is, I guess, the question. We're not probably going to be going too heavy into mercenary, even though trade does kind of encourage it. Maybe offensive ideas if we're going to have super powered artificer stacks? Yeah, I think offensive ideas, in which case having just taken a Miltech and being 150 in, we can absolutely wait and save ourselves the points on admin tech. So for the time being, we want to declare on them for Silvis. We want a co-belligerent Isabellan, which will draw in Maryland. Can I co-belligerent Maryland as well? That will draw in Sornican, which has 5,000 troops. My colony should be able to handle that. How big are you? 94%. Let's go absolutely unreasonably wild here. We're going to co-belligerent everybody, and even then they still don't outnumber us. Yeah, time for poor decisions. You might need a general if I'm going to be splitting the two stacks up. The state needs the money. Upgrade all of our ships. Cool. Time to bring in the pseudo-vassal swarm. Okay, this battle's looking a little more painful than I'd have liked. We get crossing penalty, terrain penalty. And they've got more morale, but we've got more tactics. Ooh, that's unfortunate. Okay. I'll admit, got a little arrogant there. Their army is more capable of standing up to us than I had really given them credit for. But that's fine. We're just going to go for the weaker link first. We still have so many troops that in total that they don't actually stand a chance of winning against us. And this is a colony, so it's not even like my own provinces are going to suffer any kind of devastation or anything. I know vassals can be very unreliable and a lot of players don't like them for that, but I find that they're super valuable for fulfilling the function of just eating up enemy manpower and eating up devastation. You can let the enemy ruin themselves on your vassals' provinces while your own lands remain untouched. It's not an uncommon strategy really to just outlast the AI. Because if you go for a complete like death war, they will fold before you do. It's pretty much a guarantee. And one I aim to take advantage of. Alright, cool. You go there, you go there. This nation, I didn't actually check how big they are. 169%. And I'll want to transfer my colony's occupation to myself because I almost certainly have better bonuses to being able to take more land. Like war skill cost reduction bonuses. Okay, we'll make a few people in the New World upset with us, but that's hardly an issue. This fleet is not done repairing yet. I might want to bring the fleet over here to help with the sieges and to get rid of all of their ships. That's complete. Excellent. Next, I will want to take... I could take this and just go for a centers of trade, or I could make it a bit easier and keep the land connected, and I think I'll go for keeping the land connected. Can I cross this? Obviously not. Okay, you come back over here. After beating their army once, I'm not so concerned about them coming in again. You're also getting declared on by these guys. Just not terrible, not great. Privileges have to be earned. It gets us some Republican tradition. Your colony gets caught out over there, that's unfortunate. You take that, stop these guys. Kobold sabotage recruitment in forward. Punish all of them, punish the kobolds, ignore them. Maybe they can be recruited. No, that feels unfair. Yeah. Alright, you continue. We'll get that siege soon enough. We've breached the walls. Okay. Nice, simple and straightforward wars. And our Truce of Laurent has ended. Here's where things get a little dangerous. We gotta hope that they don't do anything unfortunate. These guys, there should be no way they finish their siege before I finish mine. 20,000 guys there roughly versus 20,000 of mine. The morale advantage really hurts. I could look into hiring a morale advisor. Currently got a fort defense die, that's not terribly useful. Fort defense is nice, but it's my subjects' forts down here, so I don't think they get any bonuses from my fort defense. Maintenance modifier, no. Maintenance modifier, oh there's morale. Yeah, I can temporarily pay for a tier 3 guy. Actually, looking at my cash, I can probably afford to upgrade a few of these guys. We've been running tier 1 advisors for a long time now. It's about time to upgrade. Another colony is finished. Good. The slight downside that if I start one over here now, I won't be able to reach it with this guy. I can't really do anything about that. So sure, just grab. You can head on over here in the meantime. This army over here is, I think, like entirely just these two guys. It's not any troops from over here or over here. So piecing them out won't make that bit any nicer to deal with. Still, they're very close to giving in. Now, if I remember rightly, the conquered provinces won't transfer to the ownership of annoying. And I think that colony is still too small to survive an attack. Won't transfer to the ownership of my colony until we're at peace again. So we probably want to wait and peace out all of them more or less at the same time. I'll test it with these guys first. I'll test it by annexing the small country, and then if it turns out that yeah, it is like that and I can't transfer the provinces immediately, I'll wait until I get everything under control. And then we conquer them all in one go, and our subject has to deal with absolutely ungodly amounts of overextension. But that's very much a them problem, not an us problem. Get my fleet over here so that I can cross over this bit. We won't be able to take the province otherwise. More uprisings. But it's down here, which means I can do something about it. Explorers come back again. The pop-up wants to show up at some point. There it is. Just keep going down the list. I keep hitting backspace to return home, but my home province is back in the old world, not over here where I'm fighting. Trade company has a production manufactory. Colonize, I have subject colonize. Where? Fully colonize any province in overgrown area. Is that part of the same area? No, overgrown is only this bit, not this bit. I'd need to take this province or conquer something off them. I'll just take one of these and then we can ignore it for a while. You can go for their capital. And now they're conquering stuff back over here, so let's divert a stack in their direction. The fleet is like, I think that's them there, they're like halfway across the ocean. So we'll have them soon, that will make this siege easier as well. You want to peace out, but that's not happening quite yet. Wild respite. Can I get access from you? Yes, I can. Perfect, so you can hurry on over there. Let me take a sip of drink. My model is attempting to escape off the side of the screen. I don't know based on what exactly that happens, you know? Sometimes it doesn't drift at all, and then sometimes it drifts in one direction and sometimes it drifts in the opposite direction. Way too slow. Okay, station these guys in the middle so they can run back and forth between the colonies. You need to get these guys over here. And then we can take that last province. We'll have them full occupied, except not because there's someone there interfering. I might also want to go to war with these guys while all this is happening. Stops the country being able to go into a coalition, and also they've got occupied a couple provinces that I want, and I'm certainly not going to let them just take them. We are losing this siege race. Let's get my fleet back over there. And breach these walls. Alright, you. Stop it. There's only so far you can run. You've already lost. You're doomed. Alright, we win the siege race, so then we can go attack them. My vassal's already occupying that, so no need to fuss at that. We're going to be able to get a whole bunch of ships out of this, since we're going to capture them off of these guys. Always nice. Maybe capture a flagship along the way. Which reminds me, I need to go and build a flagship. We don't actually have one at the moment, I think. Yeah, no flagship. Can't build it here? Does it have to be in my own territory? We'll go with a heavy ship, and I want fleet engagement with fleet morale and movement speed. I don't know if that's the optimal build per se, but it's the things that I always want my fleet to have more of the most. So it's what I'm gonna go for. Grab all of those guys. You keep exploring. We've spent a fairly large amount of manpower, but we have kept our stacks at, if not full, at least pretty good throughout the whole of it. can't currently get through here. Who are you allied with? Those guys off to the side. I'll have to wait a moment until I can make a claim before I get through here and attack those guys and unsiege this. Or rather, change who's sieging this. Not allow someone to come and snipe one of my war participants. Unfortunately they might. They've already got 68 war score. Means there's a decent chance that as soon as they realize that they're at war, they're just gonna peace out for whatever they can take. I should really go like dev or something until I don't need to. Crucial war galley, which means I need to improve those. That costs more money again. Global settler increase is nice. And take offensive ideas. We're going to be building Artificer Doom stacks. Monthly autonomy change and 10% goods produce modifier. I'll take some free money. Money's what it all comes down to. We can afford them, then our Artificer army should be able to deal with Lawrence and Garwood easily. State Firearm Regiment, nope. I really don't want to be paying more army maintenance right now, and we're not drilling anyway. The 3 yearly army professionalism gain is coming in very nicely. It's only 0.3, which is a tiny amount, but something's better than nothing and it all adds up over time. We've now reached the age of unraveling. It's time for religious wars, which is kind of unfortunate given we're allied to the Emperor right now. I'll have to hope that Lawrence and Garwood get dragged into the whole mess and I can take advantage of it. I might want to unally the Emperor, to be honest, because the way League Wars work is that the leader of the Religious League declares on the Emperor, which means if I'm allied to them, I'm going to get dragged into it, instead of being able to take advantage and jump in. Okay, so religious wars obviously super good. We want that. We want it because with our religion being the fort, everyone is of a different religion, so we get bonuses against everybody. Then we have a special one, Alien to your Rush, Colony Development Boost +1. Very nice. Present on 2 continents, we've got a large city, Port province with 30 development. How big is the capital? 29 development. There we go, large city. Create a colonial empire, have 5 colonial nations, we're working on it. Convert another nation. Are any of our subjects force religionable? No. You're of a faith. You're of a faith. What are these little bars mean? Treasure fleet. Ah. And, you know, I don't think trying to enforce on Vienna is a good idea. I kind of want them to remain loyal. 23% now, they'll be at 123. That's a lot to buy down. I think we're just going to leave them be. We'll find someone else to enforce religion on. Convert provinces we're probably not going to get because we're harmonizing with everyone. And reform your religion, embrace one of the emerging faiths as your state religion, or have a Rebellion Society Lodge. A Rebellion Society Lodge, maybe we'll accept one of those, but I don't really want to become Rebellion. But you know what? 1, 2, 3, 4 out of 7 is decent. Now then, expedition to the Northern Land. Another competitor in Island here. There's not. Well, that's unfortunate. I'd kind of hoped to colonize all this completely uncontested, but it seems that won't be the case. We might have to kill these guys really, really quickly. Precursor relics. Very much looking forward to there being more of those, because that will increase our artificer capacity. My one diplomat is currently busy building spy network. I'll let him continue to do that for a minute. Missionary strength we don't need. Inflation reduction. We could do with some inflation reduction. Let's take that guy. Westdam continues to be the Emperor. Is ideal for us. He's enacted a reform. Yeah, the Empire is doing pretty well, all things considered. We'll see how well that holds up once, yeah, Coronite spreads. So at the moment it's being really confined just to Escan. With a bit of luck, Coronite won't actually impact the Empire much, if at all. That would be ideal, I think, in this particular instance. Normally I love it when the Empire gets completely ripped apart by religious conflict, but in this one case, us being allied with the Emperor, we probably would prefer if they remain stable. Okay, we have enough to fabricate a claim. Highest Death Province. Stop building spy network. Takes a whole 50 days for our dude to come back. The last few troops over here causing trouble. And we finished the colony here. Okay, all of these are finished now, so you can go stand over on that. And we can take our colonist up north here. Oh, Netcliffe, really? And Westham. Everyone's coming in, getting in my way. We shall have to deal with all of them. Sooner or later. Okay, we can now declare on these guys. Priority number 1 is unsieging that land, so they can't take it. We've got another invention made. Keep researching. Always more stuff. Reform progress, prestige, fire detection, +2 cav fire. Full occupy them. Alright, now piece these guys out and show me, do I need to hold on to the land until I'm not at war anymore? No, I do not. It immediately gets given over to these guys. In which case, we want to connect this. I'd love to take all of the coastal provinces, but it's more valuable to have connection. I can also just do this if I'm not silly about it, and then I get exactly what I want. Alright, need to wait for the colonists to come back. Sarenkat, Filver, Shining Circle, Plummel Expedition, all New World stuff. No Old World nations that would actually be able to do anything to me. You keep exploring. And we've got a merchant. Where's that guy from? Not from this. From this? Colony has 10 provinces, yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ah yeah, you're large enough now. Alright, then let's divert the trade that you're generating to us. We start up here. We want to start with the one that actually feeds into our node and then work our way backwards. So here next and then here. Oh, got occupation over there. You can come over and help with this as well now. Alright, our diplomats back. Take much land as possible. And this is all one colonial region. I guess so, it gave him the province that's in the Seller trade node. It could be all Trolls Bay is one and that Bloodgroves is another. We'll find out. Head on over here and siege that land. A4 and distribute what right is. Someone has cancelled military access with us, that's fine. The fleet can head back home. We need 578 ducats to upgrade it. Not feasible in the slightest. Or do I keep a fleet here for a moment to siege this? I think not. I think we let them go home. Oh, somewhere's producing gold. That's always nice. Treasure fleet has come in. That's also very nice. We are going to have no Diplo power whatsoever from taking all sorts of non-war goal things. But that's fine. We're not taking a Diplo idea group right now, and Diplo tech is up to par. The next thing is a bit more colonial range, so whatever. I transfer all those things to me. You've risen up. The colony is probably not big enough to survive that, unfortunately. We'll have to wait and see. Okay. I can't piece these guys out because they're the main war target. Yeah, damaged and destroyed the colony. Oh well, send the next guy. Let's teach in the proper ways, let us accommodate this obsession. Republican tradition or harmonization progress, I'll absolutely take that. I want the harmonization to be done as soon as possible. We're still over half of harmony and more than half of the way done. This unit is exiled. Why? Why have you become exiled? Who and how exiled? Humble expedition? Did you spawn in here? Did you start a colony right when my guys stepped onto that land? Really hate these guys sometimes, I really do. That's not something you normally have to worry about when you're sending out explorers. There's normally not enough guys, not enough non-natives around to cause that kind of issue. Who are these guys from? What are you doing here? Attacker against Marland, okay. If you become a nuisance, I'm declaring war on you as well, my friend. Don't think I won't. Support for kobolds. Yeah, sure, support for kobolds. Get those guys integrated. You want the bonuses. Bonuses are always good. We're still making a pittance of money at the moment, unfortunately. Mostly because we're paying for a bunch of advisors we maybe didn't need to. Maybe a little early to be getting. Okay, with that done, we can 100% these guys. Beautiful. And it all goes to this colony. So this entire area, across multiple trade nodes and multiple regions, is all one colonial area, one colonial region. That's unexpected, I have to say. More guys rising up down here, that's fine, not a concern. We can also super peas on these guys and we'll box them in so that no one else can take that land from us. Just as soon as our diplomat returns. As report, FMS, the trading company, Neratica, Shining Circle, Expedition. No one we're afraid of. We'll probably want to go and get to war with these guys as soon as possible. I get outraged countries, allies, subjects. Let's forget outraged countries for a moment so we've got more diplomats available. Recruitment time, good. Control the province. Can I take you guys in one war? Yeah, I can. We definitely will have to keep our 5 innovativeness. Let's max that out sooner rather than later. We will have to keep our armies in this area for a good while because we what's it called? We need to help our colony suppress the inevitable million uprisings that are gonna happen because I've just fed them way too much land. The AI can struggle taking in new land at the best of times. When it's being shoved down their throats like this, is definitely not the best of times. It's all occupied by me now. We're all a very similar shade of pink, which makes it a little difficult to see. Cool. Alright, you come here and here. This province has stayed because it's a colony. I could abandon the colony and have it be a new one of the right culture and religion. I can also withdraw a colonist. Like this guy. And send him here and he should change that. Okay, Enoch, who are allied with those guys. We'll build a spy network on them as well. There we go. Worth putting a thought or two into how stable this colony is going to be, not for the sake of how much money will they bring in, but for the sake of will they grow strong enough to potentially be a challenge. We do have to keep our colonies under control somehow. The colony finished, but I already sent the guy away to the other spot. All of you guys... No, the philosophers are below 50%. Only barely, but still. Oh, that almost destroyed the colony. I really need to get my 5 stuck up there sooner than later. You're allied with them, who I also want to be at war with. Who are allied with Azraport, that's fine. And they're not allied with anyone else, okay. Azraport is too big to take in one war, unfortunately. We also want to get a CB on Nyx sooner than later. Because they're pirates and they keep raiding our coasts. They also don't have any allies, so they should be an easy target. Right now they are too big to take down in one war, which is really just more incentive to go at them early, so that we can get them annexed as quick as possible. We still only control 57% of our home node. Can I improve that a little? Ooh, this is costly to dev. Ouch. We did apparently have an estate agenda to death this place. There we go, increase the... what are the things called? Trade center? 57%. We're gonna need to take Portnam. And we're probably gonna need to own a good chunk of BPEC to just reduce the amount of pull on this node. 22% of trade power causes 17.8 ducats to be retained. 7 is pulled forward. And we've got 57 what remains. Our big competitors are Viria and Laurent. Not surprised. We really need to annex Riveria at some point. But they're still allied with Vex and Western now, and Laurent, which means they're just untouchable for us. Okay, Colonist is back. Send him here. We've got enough spy network over here. Biggest province. Always the biggest province because you get a discount. So might as well use it on the most valuable place to have a discount on. Can you reach anywhere? No. We can hopefully cut a swathe through these guys all the way down to the coast this time. And then our dudes will be able to walk around this area. Which will make a lot of things a lot easier. Alright, the fleet will be required for this exercise. Let them repair real quick, join up with the flagship. You've got 12k, you've got 9k, you've got 10k, but you also like spread over islands, so who cares what you've got? Our combat width is 25. Force limit is 55. Of course, not the entire army is actually located over here because some of it is in the explorers and some of it is in the colony watchdog stack. This colony is so close to finished, at which point I'll ship the guys up way to the north. Alright, you just keep exploring. You're fully repaired now, so come over here. You've also got enough spy network, fabricated claim on the biggest province. Then start fabricating on fixed. Okay, I think maybe I deal with you first because they're smaller and therefore easier to defeat. Surprisingly enough, no rebels popping up despite the sheer amount of land that I fed these guys. I really figured with the amount of overextension I was going to be giving them, I would have huge issues. Ah, and there is New Portnam. Another colony up and running. Alright, get these guys up here, please. You need to stop in that province so that I can move my dudes. There we go. Yeah, get these guys up there. In the meantime, 8k, 6k, not at all an issue. Get the conquest started. We're making about the same amount of money, but that's fine. If we keep growing and getting more, you know, getting bigger armies, getting more everything, meanwhile we maintain roughly the same amount of income, then that's ideal. That means that we're making enough money to support it all. Why is this dude not getting built? Hello? Because he's waiting for my vassal to finish building a ship. Let's get you over here, please. and build a guy. Then we've got one colonist not doing anything. I would want to stick him over here, ideally. If I send him elsewhere now, then that's one more place we have to try and maintain control of. This province here, sand colonist. We can just hope that it works out for him. We're almost done exploring everything we've got access to. If we can get a colony here, conquer some of this, we should get enough range to go over here as well. We're getting closer and closer to that first circumnavigation. And take a sip of drink. I might need to get a larger cup for next stream. If it's gonna be this warm. Yeah, we want to race and get through as much of the native land as quickly as possible. Because the rest of it, we're going to be competing with people back on the mainland who are much stronger. Which makes it much more complicated to take land away from them. You only have 13k. I should really be able to get in a fight with them, even without both my stacks. Send the fleet to patrol the Ruined Sea. Yeah, how much do you have left? 7,000 dudes, and you've got 0. So our colonies do have more guys. Fabricate a claim on the biggest province. Building spy network. Alright, you first. Let's remove people. Oh, the Vanbury Guild has also joined in. Do you have more allies? No. Okay, what's one more guy? I fully expect them to not be able to put up a resistance anyway, so... let's just get to it. Give me army professionalism. Tradition's nice, it does give bonuses, but it's also way easier to get than professionalism is. Alright, you guys will take care of that real quick. The good thing about colonies is that if you focus your conquest in the New World, they are actually surprisingly capable of assisting. Normally, your colonies will come and join your wars like a decade later, when they finally manage to get stuff under control. But when you're actually there in the New World and you've got your own stacks around the place to help out, they're surprisingly effective. Considering that they're controlled by AI. Oh, you just moved. You didn't get annexed. I should have paid attention to the war goals a little better. I imagine there was a... what's it called? Annexed tribe war goal? I don't know if that's a normal war goal or if that's just a special one that I remember from where I was playing an adventurer in Escan. Speaking of Escan, how is stuff looking over here? Kovoria has managed to continue existing. Estel, I think, has lost land. They were bigger before. Marhold is still big like it was. Severde is doing pretty well for themselves. Ivanhard, Nurcester, Cardia. Yeah. We're still a good ways off from the wars of consolidation. But the way it's looking right now, we might be seeing an orc Escan. Ulgur Orizon, I don't even know what that is. And Severed Ear is Coronite. Yeah, it's spreading. It's gotten into a little bit of the Empire. But enough for a league war? Maybe not. We might see no league war this run. Doesn't make a huge difference to us, we're mostly concerned with the New World. It would just present an opportunity to mess with either Laurent or Garwood. Chances are they'd be on opposite sides. Give me Mill. Probably will need to go refill my drink. Here finally comes all of the rebels that I was expecting these guys to have had ages ago. I'm going to leave more of this occupying down here to my vassals. Because of course this is the main war target. So we need to piece Valor Point out last. And everyone else before them. We want to get to work on occupying everyone else. Unite the colonies or... Yeah, no, get the colony done quicker. I'm not fussed about how much dev each individual province has. We get a new invention, we get a treasure fleet. Continue, get me new stuff. Improve relations, sure. There is a chance that we'll need to deal with AE at some point. Is this just those guys or is there someone else? There's someone else. Neratica is occupying my colony. If they steal this, I'm going to be somewhat miffed. But now it looks like they're just moving off it immediately. I will not return the same kindness. I think they have a colony down here. Ah no, they finished it. They had a colony down here. I would absolutely have stolen it. Almost done exploring. And there's the first rebel uprising. I'm probably not actually going to help them with that. They've got enough, between all of the colonies, they've got enough men down here to handle that themselves. I just want to focus on full occupying these guys. The events popping up. I do sometimes actually read stuff that comes from other countries, but most of the time it's not that relevant to you, and you can just kind of skim over it. Lose 1,000 population, well that will destroy the colony in Bentown. Oh, this one. Are you taking this colony? What's happening down here? I don't want to invest in protecting it if you're about to destroy it. Okay, it doesn't look like they are. Let's just get a guy down here to take care of it. Punish the adventurers, or words are worth, let him go. You've got more loyalty anyway, so there's that. I feel like in the discussion about EU4 and CK2 and like roleplay versus meta / power gaming and stuff, there's something to be said about events and decisions in EU4, because I never, or almost never make my decisions based on what I think would be like roleplay wise for these events. You know, I don't favor one estate or another because my ruler is a mage or a zealous or whatever. I just juggle loyalty and influence. And I'm very curious if there's anyone out there who actually picks their decisions based on what they think is thematic for the country. Because I have to imagine that's like unplayable, basically. You're gonna run into a situation where you get screwed over so quickly. Okay, looks like it was not them, but these guys who have the colony down here. Now the question is, do I take it? For starters, can I get all the way down the coast? Almost certainly not. No. Okay, so less provinces. I need to reach this bit. That's an acceptable piece. Gets us all the bits we need. There is of course these guys and these guys as well in the war. I've completely kind of forgotten about them. Progress or one-base reduction? No, give me progress. We should be really close at this point. Yeah. I forgot to turn the Dev Edict off over here. Can you go exploring again by now? Yeah. We've got mill access through them since we're at war. I spotted that there, that slightly different shade of pink. You should not be occupying anything in this. Give it all to me. And the colonists back there. Then the explorer fleet out again. Okay. I wonder if there's going to be more events in regards to the precursor relics at some point. The colonialism casts its belly against somewhere or other. Colonists can come down. Well, I'm going to be conquering to be enough to make a colony down here. So where do I actually want to expand to next for my goals? Is over here even colonizable? No, this is all wasteland. The continent of... It's headed for a moment there. Ah. The continent of India has not been touched by the dev team yet. Except for this little bit up here, it seems. Okay, in terms of reach... I mean, this colony finishing will get us reach around here, and we can conquer along there. We've got a colony here, so either here and get down there, or here and get down there. Or, of course, into all of this. Trade-wise, this flows... There's only one out here. It all comes into here and into there. And this all comes into here. None of it can be redirected to the Dragon Coast. To the north, this can be redirected to the Dragon Coast. In here, we can't redirect any of the Banished Isles trade to where we want it. Or in theory, we can take from Westport, but we don't have much influence there. We want control of this, which we're going to get anyway. This is all occupied. We can redirect Leech Dens and East Etheli into the ruins. Alright, this has to go via us anyway, basically, so there's all this. Okay, Leech Dens. Leech Dens is where we want control next. Is already occupied. This is not, but I don't have a reach. This is not, and I do have a reach. Alright. Send the dude here. I really want to know what this FLI Roots Dormant thing is all about. I'm gonna have to maybe look that up on the Discord later. I love that even after the vast amounts of hours I've put into this mod, there's still entire sections and systems that I've just never interacted with, like not even slightly. This is a colony. Let's grab the guy from here real quick so that I can send him to here and change the religion and culture in that colony. I don't think they have any others for me to seize. The rest of it's all fairly colonized provinces. Alright, you. Bit of money. Peace out. I'll let him stay home. Now then, we still have the Vanbury Guild and Azra Port in this war against us. The Vanbury Guild is closer and my fleet is right here, so let's deal with them. We've got VCB on mix. So who else do we want to go in on? I guess these guys are going to be next up. Or Osgaron, so that we can make New Portland bigger. No, Casusbelli has military access. We'll cancel the military access, we don't need that. Yeah, these guys, so they don't have allies. They don't have the troops to stand against me. Easy pickings. Okay, build spy network there. You are almost making landfall here. Do you even have your guys anymore? No. They're off somewhere, so let's split that army. I don't really need to protect either of these colonies. So our fleet can go bring them over there. We can deal with Azerport at the same time as we're dealing with the Vanbury Guild. With all of the colonies, there should be enough ships just around the place. I say that, and then I immediately spot this, where my vassals are getting blockaded. Yeah, I just does not know how to deal with things. We're losing money, but we've got a good amount just from all of the war reps I've been taking. We are out of manpower, I just noticed. $46k troops total. That's still a good amount, but especially if we're shipping guys around now, we're going to be losing manpower fairly quickly. Might become an issue. We'll sit back after we finish this war and take a while to regain our strength. Oh, I like this little harbour here. Nice. A train like this is for me at least, a fairly big appeal. Why are you exiled again? What happened to you? And how? Adventurer. So you explored into a province and it turned out to be a province owned by someone that you can't actually just march through as if they don't exist. And so you got exiled. Yeah, you can siege back the stuff, it doesn't matter, the fort is what's important. You're not gonna win a siege race against me long term. Where's fleet? Have we made landfall here? Yes, we have. While they do that, you can hunt some ships over here. Keep them on their toes. How much land do you actually even own, and how much of it can I take from you? I want this and this, keep you away from the coast and extend my colonial range that way. They are ever so slightly too large to take in one war, which is really unfortunate. But that means I can leave you with just your capital, yeah? Yeah. I can maybe get just a touch of admin efficiency somewhere. From technocracy, from administration, from self-cleaning part. Let's have a look at my inventions, Gemini travel time, national unrest, these are economic, tariffs, prestige decay. Prestige gives global trade power, morale, improved relations, AE, loyalty equilibrium, okay. Unrest, reform, progress, growth, loyalty equilibrium, ability costs. Oh, my power projection is below 50, that's not good. Trade, morale, nah, none of that will let me take the last province, unfortunately. I do need to send an insult to someone. My enemies are Goward and Lauren. And insult, scornful insult. There we go, that puts us above 50 power projections so that we're getting the extra monarch points. We're almost done with this siege down here. And there we go, there's the siege. You guys are having a bit of a struggle over there. How do you feel? Minus 69%. Okay. Still a little bit too confident for me to separate piece them. My fleet is going around and I get the occasional notification that they're winning a battle. I do like that you can just set your fleets off to go. I don't necessarily want the same thing for armies. I know like Imperator Rome had an option for that where you could just set your armies off to do stuff on their own. Okay, we need to reposition you and colonize more in the leech dens. What have we just finished? Found new ordnance bay, get 100 dip power. Establish new village and get 20 years of tariffs. Merchant is clean unlocked. Expand new village and get 100 admin. Your new village and what does that involve? Any subject country owns at least 40 cities is a colony. Right, so that's these guys who've just gotten huge from conquest. Gets colonial loyalty until the end of the game. Liberty, desire, and subjects 10%. That is valuable. That is very, very valuable. Okay, so for this one we need 10 cities in the Colonial Isles region. Well, good thing we're about to go to war with Mix. 10 cities in Colonial Sorun. We get that if we eat up Osgaron. And then 10 cities in Colonial Broken Sea. We'll want to go and annex Nordjylland and Bavaria. And we'll want to go and do it soon because they keep expanding. The merchant shall go over here and divert trade from there. We're currently making 21 ducats from trade. Let's check that again after the merchant arrives and has a month tick. Truce with someone has it ended. Oh, we need to reinforce these guys. A truce with Laurent has ended. There's a terrible time for that, right as we're losing a bunch of guys. Will you accept peace? No. Who's uprising? My colony is having rebel problems. Means it's not my problem. You've arrived down here, head back up immediately. My war extortion is getting high. Oh, come on, why are you going to be such a nuisance? As report. How long can it take to siege down one province? Jesus. Okay, first the fleet goes over here, and then I think the fleet can go down... The fleet can go bring those guys from up north down there, even better. We're quite done over here. Not yet. Oh, which side is your harbor at? It is on this side. This province. There we go. I was going to say, you're almost full occupied. At some point, you've just got to realize when the war's done. Oh, none of this gets given to anyone, which means I actually need to core a bit. Okay. Is this all in the same region? Hard to say. I'm going to assume this one's not in the same colonial region. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then the last 3 we don't need to bother with. This army will have to stay here for a while to deal with potential uprisings here. We just got anti-monstrous conquest against Mix. Well, that's great. Gives us a bit of AE on dealing with them. We've got enough fine network over here. 8 for largest province, no, 9. Go. Somewhere is getting sieged, and it's these guys. His efforts will be admired. I'll take that free stability, thank you. These guys can get shipped down here. Let's just breach these walls real quick before the fleet leaves. Because I want to be done with this siege up here, good god. I mean, I guess Azra report is probably from the Azra Bank. This is a dwarven... Yeah, this is a dwarven adventurer group. But no surprise they've got ridiculous defensive buffs. Yeah, plus 10% from dwarven military. 10% Balga, 1.7% power projection. Mine is ticking down each year because of the insulted rival thing wearing off. I assume it will stick above 50 once we finish this war and I can declare another rival, because I did notice that we are on 2 out of 3, but we can't add or remove any while we're at war. My subject is having more uprising problems. There we go, finally. And another colony is done. All 3 of my colonists are just sitting around right now. And yet, have a colony actively in development. Okay, send you over here. Oh, because these 2 have been occupied, of course. My colonists can't work there. And we finally got a new government reform. And we're down to 7 out of 13 now. Good progress. State maintenance and prosperity growth. State maintenance is nice. Plus 250 gov capacity. We're not even at like half, are we? Okay, we're around half. Because everything we're conquering is going to our subjects, not to us. The gov capacity hasn't been much of a deal, if at all. I haven't even built any courthouses. Global trade power 10%, that could be pretty good. Exile Colonial Company. Settler chance and expel minorities cost. 5% settler chance is nice. Culture administration plus 2 promoted cultures and minus 50% culture cost. We'll come back and change it later, but for now I'm going to take the settler chance. It contributes the most directly to our progress at the moment. Okay, the AS report is kind of awkward to occupy because they're all spread across the islands. I'll take the dev quest. We'll got that. I'm not gonna hire a new general just for this stack to walk around a little bit. I am gonna dock this fleet, or maybe not yet. I'm gonna move these guys over here and then dock the fleet because it's getting a little low on maintenance. Less than 30% on some of my ships. It would be extremely bad if a fleet got caught out and actually managed to lose a naval battle. Like that would be destroys our entire war effort levels of bad. 15% trade efficiency. How much are we making from trade now? 26 ducats. I'll give it a month tick just in case that getting that changes things. 28 ducats. Nice. Immediately rebels rise up. Or not rebels, natives, whatever. But they shouldn't deal enough damage to destroy the colony, so we're fine on that front. These are all going to take a good long while still. Send colonist there, and the colonist here, and you can stay stood on that. They're probably making their way up and around to go back over here, which is very annoying, but we can cope with it. Damn. Very unfortunate. Last thing I need is more aggressiveness. Right, Valorport, the guys we actually originally declared against. We're also half occupied by a subject, that's no good. We want them occupied by us because we almost certainly have better war score cost reduction bonuses. It's almost worth taking religious ideas anyway, just because we're the only nation around that we're interacting with who follows the fort. Because that reduction could make it so that we can one war these guys. I am thinking about it now, curious whether what's it called? Whether our colonies will be able to declare on these guys. Because normally your colonies can declare on and fight the natives to expand, but we don't have a bunch of natives around us, we have a bunch of adventurers who we already know function differently because our explorers keep getting black flagged walking through their land. It's entirely possible that we can't actually deal with them the same way we deal with everyone else. Yes, let's get a claim on you. I assume we don't already have one. We've got colonialism, but that's not enough. We want more than just their colonies, we want their everything. We get a claim on you? No. Need to get that as well. Okay, how's Azraport doing? Minus 44%, that's barely a start. Ah, peasants have risen up in this area. Very annoying. Okay, you we can deal with. We've got an army over here for that purpose. Colony death boost versus religious wars. I'm gonna take religious wars first. That now means we can full annex them easily. And we'll get more out of Azraport as well, even if we don't push them all the way to 100% war score. Which we still aim to do if at all possible. Restricted? No, let them expand. Might have been a poor battle to pick over a crossing. Ooh. We're very much relying on Wesdam to keep us safe at the moment, because I don't think our own military... Come on, finish the battle already. I don't think our own military is quite up to par on keeping our rivals at bay. Of course, that doesn't take into account that we've got a whole bunch of subjects with all their troops as well. Yeah. But even then, 65k fielded is not a lot. Not when our opponents are Garwood and Laurent with their 76 and 58 plus vassals. Of course, Laurent's vassals are more of a hindrance than an aid in this case. You can go back to hunting fleets in the Ruined Sea. See if you catch anyone. Job offer. Oh, we finished reharmonization. Excellent. How would you like to work for us? Variana Redwayne doesn't quite know what to do. When the Provost of Fort in Odensbay invited her to meet with him, she expected a lecture or a request for conversion. Redwayne, a fervent paladin and recent migrant to the city, had made a name for herself as a vociferous defender of Corrin and her followers, but she knew the thoughtful were masters of rhetoric. Since first reading the letter of invitation, she had been splitting her time between administering to the faithful and planning her arguments. She prepared defenses of the Pantheon's existence, that Canorians only believe in their gods because of verifiable evidence, for how else do you explain clerics and paladins and avatars? How could you be gifted magic by a source that doesn't exist? For the Pantheonic Council's rigor, since as places where scholars of magic and religion meet to update the godly canon, the councils act as scientific conferences in themselves and more. She expected to be pried open, her words scrutinized for any hint of the god's non-divinity. She did not, on the other hand, expect this. The provost passes an unsigned contract over his desk. It is obvious that Corrin is divine. There's too much objective proof of her ascension, and yet the hierarchy, increasingly pantheonic in population, are bereft of her divine magic. You possess not only this magic, but also mastery in eloquence and oratory. We offer you title, rank, payment, and jurisdiction over the followers of Corrin and Odensbay, as long as you are willing to lecture about her at a university. You want to hire me to proselytize, you'll pay me to spread the word of Corrin. Yes, that about summarizes the offer. Within 10 minutes, Redwayne accepts. She has no idea that in half an hour, the provost will be offering the same deal to an Adianic cleric. The two will soon be forced to become co-workers. I love how they portray the harmonization and the fort religion in this. The first event when we harmonized the Dragon Cult, and now this, harmonizing the Canorian group, the way it kind of looks at the actual religious structure of all of these organizations is really, really fascinating. It's one of the things that I really enjoyed about CK2, where the different churches had slightly different organizations, like with the Catholic Church having the whole College of Cardinals, and you could get your realm priests voted in there, or the Orthodox Church having a different head priest for each sort of kingdom and stuff like that. It's very, very interesting. I did see something just the other day, for example, about a parish in whatever part of America claiming that its diocese has jurisdiction over the moon, because historically the laws are that for unexplored lands, the diocese of origin for the explorers gains jurisdiction. So whatever astronauts they're talking about gives them claim as being the diocese that administers matters of their faith on the moon and in space, which I thought is very, very funny. My model has once again drifted off this side. Quick reset on that. Alright, so we now get +1 tolerance of the true faith, which is always very welcome. And we've got 110% religious unity. We've got no other religions in our lands at the moment to harmonize with. It would be good if we can head north and get the Scaldric faith sooner than later. Get mountain watchers while they still exist, because who knows how long that's going to last. The Olducan faith is rapidly disappearing as well. Elven forebears as well we want to grab. But that's all for much later, because we have to get across a good chunk of land to achieve it. What is it down here? Mother Akasik. Want to get that. Catarata and the Cataratan face, Elicatist. We want to get everything. The new sun called. Actually, what's happening down here? The Jad are pretty big, but they've not managed to push into Bulwa. And by their name placement, they've not managed to push into the Jehenan Rash either. You guys are just kind of chilling. This also just kind of chilling. Econ is big, which means someone's failed up in the north here. And of course, looking at the Great Powers, the command is gone completely out of control. They probably own a good chunk of this at the moment. Earlium might actually be in position to form the Phoenix Empire if things go well for them. Hard to say. It's possible. Galcalis is their vassal. Yeah, I think Earlium is in a pretty good position to form the Phoenix Empire. But that's all for later concerns. Right now, we need to think about what we're doing over here. Which is we need to first of all separate piece Azraport. I'm just gonna go by war score. I want as many provinces as possible, I think. I can almost full annex them now. If I leave that and say this, maybe this. Okay, this you'll accept. Let's just get them out of the war. I have to go to war with them again anyway because I can't full annex them right now, so let's not waste time for scraps and instead just get this done. Now then, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I hope this is in there. 5. In case this is a region, I don't know. This might also be a separate one, so we're just gonna core these as well. And see how it goes. We don't need to core everything. Okay, and then when the guy comes back, we finish this war. And I think we take it easy for just a minute after that. We could launch straight into the next conflict, and we might anyway, against these guys just because they've got no allies and very few troops. But like this stack has 1.6k people left in it. That is absolutely nothing. We need to recover our manpower for a while, and our subject needs to deal with all of these rebels. Okay, here is my guy. Occupy everything. Their full annexation and 135 ducats. The list of people who are upset with us grows longer, but the list of people on that list we care about in the slightest does not. No one here represents a threat to us. Okay. Let's ship our guys over here and help them out a little. I think they need it. No, we will not be abandoning any colonies. Especially not one that's almost finished. All we can see is land. Let our war exhaustion take down a little. I mean, we're not really at risk of rebels, not when all of our land has been occupied for so long. Criminal deluge. All provinces with all countries with 5 provinces in the Atlantic frontier, Fallen Vale, East Dameshead, Esmeria, and the borders. And everyone in Escan. We've got a couple provinces in the Atlantic frontier. Fallen Vale's down there. East Dameshead is this. The borders. The borders? Atlantic Reach. Caravan's Folly. Where is the borders? The borders, there we go. More than 5 provinces in one of these. We'll get daily specific events. 1, 2... I think we've only got 2. I don't think we get the daily specific events, though we still get 1 stability loss. Okay. We need another rival. These guys have volunteered. All that will take up and keep us above 50. Yeah, we really need to sit back for just a little while and let our manpower recover, let our war exhaustion take down, let these cores finish. We don't need to core everything because some of it should go to colonial nations when they form. We've also got pretty good amounts of money. So let's just build a couple buildings. Not many because we cannot afford it. The Think4 transmitters, those give us... what do they give us? Improved relations modifier. Still haven't gotten any of these. War golem, sure. I feel like having finished all of the mill stuff is giving us more high tier mill options. I think I might need to grab a few of the ones I don't actually care about, just so that I can get the next tier of them. I don't know if that's something they've implemented or if I've just gotten kind of poor RNG. But considering this is Amber now, I wouldn't put anything beyond the dev team. Are you about to get black flagged again? No, no, you just explore the province and then turn around. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay, that's slowly recovering. I was about to say, if they're being declared on right now, I'm going to be so annoyed. Get our guys over here and let's get the show on the road. I will not have someone steal the march on us. Even if I am preserving manpower, I don't need to expend very much effort to take care of one little 6k troop nation. There's really not much I can do to get over there in time. This colony might almost finish before they manage to occupy it. Not quite, not quite. But it won't make a difference. Yeah, that hurt a bit. We'll recover. Cool. You're down here. Declare war. Take Skologa. Where is that? Is that their capital? Unsurprisingly, yes. Split the army up. And get to work. Because you guys are still only at the 5 provinces I started you with. You have not been colonizing. Because I assume you don't have the money for it, New Portman. Yeah, you're making a ducat per month, which is simply not enough. I need them bigger. Bigger so they colonize, and colonizing so that I get my merchants off them. You guys over here. Have a size 19 province somewhere or other. We'll be taking that. Let's go make that siege a bit easier. How far are we from finishing the cause? Very close, very close. Some guys have risen up. Let's go over there and help them out. I'm not sure if this stack can actually make it there in time. That's our subject who's got imminent uprising, so we don't have to worry about it. Yeah, I did not make it in time. Okay, sit in the middle here, so hopefully you can get to one or the other quickly enough. At the sheer speed our colonies are growing, we do probably make them quickly. There's no natives left here, so we don't actually need to worry about this. We can focus on this one. At the sheer speed our colonies grow at the moment, we probably don't need to worry all too much about native uprisings. They're not likely to destroy our colonies outright. But they do slow us down, and there's still plenty of world left to cover. At some point I'm going to really need to sort out these stacks, because we can't just have... Go, another colony. We can't just have infantry stacks. Even if we're waiting for the money to be able to make artificer regiments, in the meantime we still need like usable armies, which these currently really aren't. Okay, so how much of that did you get? This. That's some yeses. Yes, this is part of you. Okay, so this colonial region makes sense, expands into that. That's all part of this colony. What do I still own then? Only the stuff in the ruined sea that's currently being caught. And I guess you're immediately big enough to provide me with a merchant. Yeah, that's fine. You feed into there, you feed into that. This is feeding into the middle. Let's redirect some of this trade in the center here. Takes 40 days to arrive. I'm tempted almost to take the artificer invention that gives us envoy travel time. We do have 10 capacity, which would be enough for a tier 1 invention. 25% envoy travel time and 5% shock damage received. It shouldn't be underestimated. Siege decay, 40% global chariots and 10% treasure fleet income. I should take this actually. We now control the province, that means that's over here. This, and then we can full annex them. Oh, they've got a couple more provinces I can't see. My vassals are marching down there, so they'll take care of that for me. We'll get these guys full occupied. The army reformer has died. That's unfortunate. Reinforce speed, discipline, manpower modifier, fort defense. Let's get national manpower modifier. We're up to making 18 ducats again. Back from when we were losing money not too long ago. Though some of that will come from the fact that like a third of our army is not present, so we're not paying army maintenance on them. Which tends to help in saving money. Okay, good. Jaya, Gepenak. As we annex people around the place, the amount of people in potential coalition against us actually drops, even though we're gaining AE. Because there's no one left to be in the coalition. I don't think he's gonna get here before this colony finishes. 130 days and it's at 993 settlers. Yeah. Okay, send him here instead. I think he'll still make that. Alright, you guys can just... Is this province big enough? Not really. These are all supply limit 20 provinces. Oh, there we go. That one's much bigger. Liaising advisor will approach Zerzemexia to seek better relations. No, we don't need better relations with Zerzemexia. Our colony over here has finished. Okay. First, merchant. Here. Second, colonial range. We can go far. Get me access to the ferry guys up to the north here. I believe if you play as one of these guys and you manage to consolidate the whole region, you can open a portal in the middle that takes you out to the middle of the deep woods. Rebellion Society God Fragment Research. When Erlentir was newly discovered, one of her expeditions discovered an artifact called the God Fragment. A strange shard-like object that emitted high-pitched sounds that we soon deciphered to be some sort of ancient language. The precursor expert of our expedition, the elven archaeologist and mage named Toriev. I remember Toriev from the events where she gets, like, possessed by voices. Found herself to have an affinity with this object and has since spent her time researching and transcribing whatever knowledge she could glean from it. So far we have learned little other than the claim that the shard is the original source of magic, and that it is the surviving essence of a precursor god, or according to Toriev, the only god to have ever existed. With the rise of the Rebellion Society and their specialization in matters of this sort, Toriev has suggested that she take the God Fragment to Canna in hopes that she, along with the brightest minds of the Rebellion Society, could decipher more from the God Fragment, and with our permission she would share their findings to us at a later date. We get 50 prestige, and we lose the God Fragment Ruin in... where is it? Over here? Yeah, God Fragment Ruin, which gives us yearly prestige and plus 100% trade value modifier. God Fragment Chamber until end of the game, which gives missionary strength, trade value modifier, institution spread. Or the artifact should stay in Erlentir. I'm not about to give away a thing called the God Fragment to the Rebellion Society, right? I think that would be hugely, as I was saying earlier about role-playing in E4, that would be hugely out of character for the Gnomish hierarchy and the fort. We're going to keep that thing and study it ourselves. I think even if I were planning to switch to Rebellion, it still wouldn't really make sense to just give the thing away. If anything, we want the Rebellion Society to come to us to study it. We are almost full on admin power. What shall we do about that? Development... Local tax modifier or value? I can never remember which is the more valuable to look at. I might just look at some low def provinces and bring them up to, like, roughly on par. There we go. Places making gems. That was maybe a little bit of overspending, but considering how far ahead of time we are and how much we're making each time... Oh wow, who could have ever seen this coming? I gotta be honest, the moment I saw the event I was like, the Rebellion Society probably needs this thing, so surely there's gonna be an event where they steal it. Yeah, unsurprising. Unsurprising. Ooh, Coronite is making its way across the Empire. We may yet see League War after all. Istralor is fairly strong, they could do it. Arboran, yeah. So much of the Empire is over on the east side. Oh dear. Stop them. Oh, he actually made it in time. I wasn't honestly sure. I said I was, but wasn't actually sure if he would. And the colony finishes right there. Okay. I sent a guy up here, so let's send another one next to him. You've managed to occupy that. Okay, land here instead. But the dudes out there... Why are there separatists? I want to relocate him to up north to watch over these provinces, but I really need both locations to be developed. I might need to go to war with these guys sooner than later, so that I can get a colony up and running here without having to keep a guy around and devote colonists to it. They've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 enough provinces for my needs. Get me some more colonial range, that's good. We've currently got a guy out exploring anyway. But now we really are wasting manpower. I said I wanted to sit back for a minute and let manpower tick up, and I keep getting into the next war. You still need to finish dealing with some of your rebels. Provinces have been cored at least. We're stable in that regard. How are we looking AE-wise? A couple nations are slightly upset with us, but they're all over here in the New World. They're all small. None of them are in a position to actually do anything with their grievances. Let's make sure that this army is sitting somewhere that can handle a 24 stack. Same for these guys. Go. Clandestine volunteers. Aside with a movement speed for 5 years. And we gain 5 manpower. Now I'll just take the prestige, thank you. We will re-elect our guy, but I'm going to let that just sit up there and... Actually, we're at full Republican tradition. We can just click that immediately. No need to hesitate. Okay. This location should be fine on its own. They've got no natives left. You're doing pretty well exploring the north here. Not sure if he's going to get over there in time. Has plus 100 colonial range done much for us? Yes, it has. I want to get the circumnavigation. So, the South Urlas Islamic Ocean and South Ocean of the Lost. South Ocean of the Lost, there we go. It shouldn't be long at all now before we've got this last bit explored, and then we can do one little jaunt around the world. Just look at the sheer amount of pink. There's not usually a lot of nations that are pink. Seeing over colonies like this is quite funny. I wonder if this wasteland will get colored pink when there's enough provinces around it occupied. Oh, we've actually got enough money to get some level 3 centers of trade. The capital's definitely one we want that on. Global uprising in our subject, so it's not a concern. Someone is pirating in our trade node. And you guys have risen now. This colony is still brand new, which means they're not going to survive that. Unfortunate. But what can you do? Summer Court. I think that's the all four chords. Autumn. This whole place is faintly reminiscent of like the Chaos Gods. You've got the four different factions and then Chaos Undivided. We're almost done with the mill idea group as well, which is nice. No colonial nation. There we go. And it's called Cods. The worst part is I can't even claim that this is a silly name, because with the naming scheme they've picked for the gnomes, I'm pretty sure this actually like means something like Hyra because it's a gnomish hierarchy, and then Kobdu or whatever I've seen in a province somewhere, which is probably some suffix that means like land or city or whatever. Okay, so how much of that did you get? All of it? They've got the islands, but not this? Oh no, this is part of new Nimscods. So all of this. We've got one massive colonial nation here, one big one in the island, well, one very small one in the islands, one big one down here, one big one to the east here, and then one big one here, or small one here rather, because we've got another mission to make a colonial nation here, so this and this are probably separate. Next question is, what about the outside of the ring? Is this all a separate colonial region to this? This island here is part of Gomiokans, and so is this land province. So I'm assuming at least a chunk of this is gonna be belonging to them. All one subcontinent, one region. The problem is that the colonial nations of the colonial regions don't need to match up to the trade nodes or the actual geographic regions at all. Like in the base game, they definitely don't do that. Sure, we'll just take this guy. Okay, how are we on the naval capacity? Quite a bit over. That's fine. Upgrade ships, we need almost 1,000 ducats to get our fleet up to date. With the amount of naval combat we get into, that might actually be worth it though. Normally I would scoff at the idea of prioritizing the navy, because it's almost never important, but this might be one of those cases. The thing with naval combat in EU4, as much as I like it, I like the way it works, honestly, and I think it's got good things going for it. But ships are cheap enough that you can just outscale the AI. You don't really need to commit to having a good navy. You can just have a bigger navy and beat them that way. Because they'll stick pretty religiously to their naval force limits and limit the amount of money they spend on them. We're spending 11 ducats now, and that's being like 20 over the force limit, you know? Almost half of our cost is being over force limit. We'd barely be spending anything if we were at force limit, and that would still give us like a 60 strong fleet. Compare that with, you know, even the other major powers. Even the other major colonial powers. I think also the window of opportunity on attacking Eberthil and taking their colonies is kind of closed. We can still do it and we'd still win, but it would be an expensive victory at this point. Okay, finish off this colony, please, and then get this and this. Actually, now might be the perfect time to go for the combat approach. If we take all of this, finish the colonial nation here and don't have to bother here anymore, we can then move this guy and bring him up here to where he's actually needed. Yeah, let's do that. Let's grab him. Let's bring him here. By the time he gets back, we probably have enough manpower that we can justify going here and declaring on Dalparura. I still don't know what this whole deal down here is with the FLI roots being dormant. Plus 60 minimum local autonomy is very painful. That's probably reducing the effectiveness of our colony very significantly. Vena is still on 14%. We do have a lot of prestige. We might be able, between paying off debt and placating rulers, we might be able to enforce religion. Let's try it. Go for it. Oh, slightly over, slightly over. Oh, they like me as much as they basically possibly can. It'll take down. The rest is a little bit from development, a little bit from relative army power. Our Diplo rep is apparently bad. Yeah, we're a -1 because we've got Babbling Buffoon and no bonuses at all. I'm so used to taking idea groups that give you all manner of bonuses to your diplomatic reputation. You know, normally between the like Diplo ideas themselves and a few other ideas and like the policies you get from them might have like 4 or 5. But not in this case. A new conquistador, please keep exploring. Innovativeness is nice. Is this ticking up? It's gone from 69 to 70 to 72. That would be very unfortunate. Cloud has declared war upon Vormmarch for conquest. Yeah, you do you. No. Not as strong as me. I mean, I'm not technically that strong. More than half of my... Like, half of subjects development means there's 1,000 subject development. So I'm like a third of my total combat strength in practice. Okay, how have we done on this down here? Well, a good chunk of it we can't see. Northern Hallis Coast, North Sea, Ringlet Sea, Southeast Area, South Sahel Coast. It's that bit. Get us closer and closer to having an uninterrupted circumnavigation. I can make states? Oh, down here. No, we very much don't want to do that. We had just a little bit more prestige. That's another thing I'm really not used to. Normally, I would have religious ideas, and I would have the prestige per development from missionary, and I would have all the prestige under the sun. And the guy here... Are you just sitting here taking attrition? Please come in and repair for a month. Could only take one. There we go. And then let's get you back down here. Diplomat has died. I don't really need another diplomat with more improved relation. I want some Diplo reputation at the moment. We're also almost capped out on admin. So let's go to the dev menu again. There's some crystals here. I want to put a couple more points into. Wait, let me just drink the last of my drink. That's some really nice squash. Making 36 ducats of trade at this point. Can't quite seize land yet. The philosophers and adventurers will be upset. Yannick has declared war on someone. Yeah, Bionic should attack them sooner than later, probably. They don't have very many troops, and they're my rival. Howard is starting to kind of scale out of control. In a coalition against Laurent. What has Laurent been up to? And why am I completely unconcerned about it? The Religious League doesn't look like it's much closer to forming. If I declared on Goward, who all would join in? Roswell, Dervig, and Arboran, so really no one. It's just Goward themselves. 93k, 54k. If I can get my armies up to full and like 20-30,000 manpower, then with that and mercenaries, I should be able to overrun Goward. They've got offensive and quality ideas, which makes their army a little scarier. But I could start looking into recruiting some of those artificers at last. That would make for a much stronger army on my end. Mystic ciphers, gene food cultivation, goods produce modifier. Let's see. Just get me all the stuff. When do I get the next tier? Tier 3. Embrace a rapid and unrestrained research approach. We need to undertake 6 research projects to move on to the next level. And we're at 7 out of 6. 12 before 15. We're making good progress. Okay, and if I want to declare on Riveria, then Laurent protects them, but Westham and Wex don't right now. But even Laurent on its own, I mean actually Laurent's subjects are all disloyal. And they've got a coalition. I was only looking for the sake of it, but this might actually, like, my armies are painfully out of position. But this might be the best chance to declare on Riveria. They both have a Miltech on me, which is unfortunate, and we still need to finish offensive ideas before we can even think about taking up. Oh, Tech 11 is fairly important. But am I gonna get a better opportunity than this? 107%, and I can break their alliance with Westham. Oh no! This is a gamble. This is really, really a gamble. But I think it's a gamble I have to take. I'm gonna save. This is not an Iron Man campaign. I'm not above reloading. I'm gonna save, and I'm gonna go for it. War goal of... Actually, you're only barely above what I can take in one war, aren't you? 107%. Is 15% the highest one of your provinces is worth? Yeah. So declare for Reaver's Landing. We go for it. It's silly and we shouldn't, but we go for it. Alright. Get me my goons. Over here. Okay. Yeah. all their subjects, but who cares about Lauren's subjects because they're all disloyal. None of them are going to help. So I say, but I swear I just saw South Vismal there. 34%. Okay, they're almost all disloyal, one exception. We can deal with that. This fort should hold a good long while. Hill Fort, level 2. Can use that. And hopefully our subjects, well, as soon as I go take care of the enemy's fleets, hopefully our subjects will help out as well. Just as a landowner. Okay, the colonial nations probably won't be as useful for this as I'd have liked them to be. Yeah, whatever, keep us ahead of tech. The colonial nations probably won't be as useful for this as I would have liked them to be, but they should contribute something. They will probably need some help with me taking care of Lawrence's ships. Because none of them are smart enough to clump up all of their vessels together. And even if Lawrence's vassals are disloyal, their fleets are still going to be active around here. Which means they're still going to be interfering with us. We've still got inflation, so can we get another inflation reduction guy? Please? Wow, Vena has managed to get immediately occupied. Also, my explorer fleet is just kind of sitting here. Hello? That's not very clever, is it? You're gonna get destroyed. Can we retreat? No. Ah, you gotta love the AI's decisions sometimes. Sure, tax modifier. Not inflation reduction, what I actually wanted, but it's better than nothing. Okay, now get these guys over here. And you go stop them. They have breached this, and they've got mill access through Garwood, it looks like. But this is good. Let them split their armies, absolutely. They want to provide me with that advantage. I will happily take it. Colony is self-sustaining. Start up the next one. And finish off the mill idea. Get me that discipline, get me recover morale speed, get me ship durability and combat ability, and another 5 discipline. The Age of a Hierarch. Policies wise, we get settler chance and automatically discover adjacent when a colony is built. OT efficiency, chance to capture enemy ships. Thank you. Alright. How bad is its matchup? 115, 110. Ooh. Even with advantages, they still seem to have a little bit of a leg up on us. That's a little unfortunate. This war might have been over-ambitious. We have a defender's advantage here on the fort. 4.42, they've got a full 1 morale up on us. Crap. How far away is the fleet? They've just landed? No? Oh, they've just landed over there, now they need to make their way all the way back. Ooh. Okay, you know what? Normally I would say play this out and wait and see and preserve resources. Why is this not active? What am I even doing? But not right now. No, give me full strength. We're not faffing about here. I want this war won, and I want it won decisively. Colonial range and explorer, don't need that. Right, come over here and attach to my activity. And then let's relieve the siege. This is a lot of money. I could look into getting artificer regiments right now as well, but I don't have the manpower. Maybe take another month to go to. They are still on -% as far as progress is concerned. Yeah. We'll give them a moment. Get me manpower. 0 now. Okay, this is good enough. Head on over. With that much of a numbers advantage, even if we're not feeding them in... I was gonna say we should win easily, but that was, again, closer than I would have liked. Okay, I can't march... Oh, I can march in here. Just showing a little X for no good reason. We probably need to get Lawrence to leave the war first. The capital's all the way down here, and I cannot reach that. I don't want to go through their vassals. I want them to stay disloyal and unaffected, so we have to siege this. Get the mercenary stack on there. Get our actual stack over here. And you guys can march up there and do something about those guys. Upgrade the ships, yes. And once they're done, send them back out to West Coast, the Northern Four. Send them to the West Coast and then I'll manually control them if I need them elsewhere. Give me the colony death boost. Yes. Give me the golden era, actually. Morale, more power cost gets reduced, autonomy, yes. We don't really need to keep them happy right now. Not sure you can walk through that stack, to be honest. They're certainly not moving, which means they believe they can take this fight. Better to think they may in fact be correct. No, they're losing. Closer than I would have liked, but they're losing. Damaged our colony. Oh, that was another uprising that I didn't pay attention to. My bad. Okay, we'll spend. I'm willing to barrage things down right now. I know you're not finished repairing, but stop this fleet from helping with that. You are not even a big enough stack to do anything over there, so feel free to waste your time. Do I abandon my siege to head on over there? No. I could leave a stack on here and like a 1k stack on here and go over to protect that, but it's too likely that they'll come out with some random army from somewhere in here. I'd rather just win this, and then I can always siege that back. For these guys, stop them from assisting. Yes, now they're back at -7 without the ship's support. Good. Come on, 35%? Let's get it. Yes! Excellent. Head on over to here. Attach to the Gnomish army. We'll let these guys move out of the way. We don't really need to get in a fight with a random stack in here. And then go relieve that siege. You can go kill these random stragglers. Unoccupy that. Oh, they moved off the siege. That's probably smart on their part. But they're not moving to engage my stack. Or are they? They've still got the morale advantage, and we're even on discipline. There's gonna be a stack vibe? Surely not, I was gonna say. That would be a little extreme. I'm quite willing to retreat there and keep taking the fights on the fort. Abrillard's tired of war. And you're gonna make it harder to resolve that? Minus 59. The battles mean that we're in the red war score wise, unfortunately. The amount of rivers here, I don't really want to engage on any of their armies. Could go for a little naval invasion somewhere. You can again cut off. Sure, I can spare a few crowns. Pick off this stack over here. Okay, I mean they're struggling to engage with that, and Laurent is moving its armies elsewhere. Let's see if I can't hop on in there and pick a fight. You're still repairing. I don't really want to put them down to no maintenance again. Let's just set them to the west coast while I'm not paying attention. So I don't sit there if I forget about them. Okay, this is just a couple small stacks. We can fight those, even with the morale penalty. And Riveria only has a little bit more morale than us. They've got better discipline, but only a little bit more morale, compared to Laurent, which has way better. Treasure fleet comes in, that's always nice. So you do whatever. Let's bring this army down here as well. They don't seem to be trying to take anything up here again. Benar is upset with me once more, but almost not anymore. And it doesn't matter right now, they've managed to get themselves occupied, so that's really their problem, not mine. My colonies are all just kind of chilling at home. Very useful, thanks. Okay, you've got that. About occupying territory. We need... Ideally, I want to take Portnam from them. But I think the more realistic thing here is going to be to just separate piece Laurent. Yeah. We'll try for it anyway. I need more war score on Laurent to begin with, so occupying Portnam will contribute towards that. The mercenaries can spend their manpower sitting on a fort, and my actual stacks will sit over here on slightly easier to occupy provinces. Although here comes Laurent. Just go for my forts. Leave me alone. No reason for you to engage in needless battles, right? Yeah. Can I shoot this? No, where's the fleet? Down here. I should be able to quickly press the button when they come past. Occupy the rest of Riveria while we're waiting. Where'd they go? Oh, right. The AI is so stupid when they're hunting enemy fleets. They will start to sail away, an AI fleet will come out of the port, and they'll sail back to intercept them, and they'll of course go back into the port, and then they'll just juggle back and forth infinitely. It's incredibly irritating. Go sit in here and then I will occupy that province. And force the fleet out. Lawrence still has the advantage of me thanks to the battles. And they're getting 7.4 war score for occupying there now. Okay, since I have... Oh, damn. Can you hold on long enough for reinforcements? No, not even slightly. Let's send you over onto the island. And then attach you back to... Which is the correct army? Attach you back to the Gnomish army. And give them a month tick or two. Get off over there so Lauren can't catch us. And we can take a month tick or two to recover. Is our guy 666 now? No. Still one off. When's the next election? In 49. So we've got plenty of years with our very overpowered leader still. They're sieging those back, yeah, unsurprising. We don't need to go in on this yet. The state needs the money, yes it does. The state is making a profit even with these mercenaries raised. Interesting. Do I take that to mean I can raise more mercenaries? Guys have risen up. Deal with them. You can invest in technology. Sure, we're almost at full innovativeness. Get me some naval combat width. You come sit over here and support the siege. Laurent is occupied down here, so I can go in on these guys while they're away. They have re-occupied a bunch of stuff down there, or up there rather. Just less than ideal. Okay, finish this battle quickly before they reinforce, please. These are all small stacks. We can eat them one at a time if they come in. Yeah, Laurent, you've made a stupid play there. Even though you are surviving way longer than you really should be. Ooh. It almost got a little scary there, I think. Move them back to safety. And let them take a moment to recover. They're unattached so I can split them up. This is gonna take forever if I don't speed it up a little. I did notice just as I clicked that I could have taken the tech there. But it's fine, it's all fine. They're sieging that back, that would be very bad. Hang on, that last one was a uprising pop-up. You attach. Go relieve that siege. Okay, Laurent is distracted up in the north for reasons only the AI could tell you. That gives us the opportunity to first take this, and then if they're going to stay here until they've sieged this, which looking at that minus 42% will take a while, we can go in on this guy. Let's get them their own general, one with siege pips. You can take this guy, occupy that. I'm unhappy leaving a 13k stack on its own, but we can see Laurent's army. They have 52k guys, which means 40... Yeah, this is almost their entire army up here. One stack is... Oh, I thought they were coming to us. They're all sitting on that. We have temporary free reign. Let's make the most of it. The occupation of Venal unfortunately probably takes priority over the occupation of Fortnum, so the fleet will stay here for a moment. Venal has troops, they really could just be unoccupying their own stuff. How much is First Sight contributing to Lawrence score? Plus 1.8. I'll want to grab it before I leave this island. Riviera is sending me a peace offer as if they're gonna win this war. I can understand why you would think that with me being at minus 25%, but I assure you, this will be a loss for you. I can probably guarantee it if I go hire another Merc stack. Probably the adventuring company. Yeah, we're not that deep in debt. We're barely losing money. We'll lose a bunch more once that stack actually pops, but it's all money we can recover. 64%. Come on, give me the damn siege. Miltech, good. We are now on par with our opponents in Miltech. The siege is going fairly quickly. Quicker than theirs, which means we can send this stack to relieve that. You can really just stay stood right here for a moment. This, please, just give it to me. This stack heads up here. I hope I can... Yeah, we've got 4 out of 5 leaders, so I can get another one. Do need to do something about this sooner than later, otherwise like, I'm going to start taking like stab hits from denying peace offers. Alright, Laurent, how are we feeling? White peace? Almost. We might genuinely get concessions out of Laurent. Did not think that would be possible. 21%? Nope, no lucky roll. Okay, you actually just cross straight over into here and occupy territory. Unfortunate that they're gonna get that occupation, but that's like 45,000 Laurentish soldiers over there. I really can't do anything to them. You occupy that just to put some pressure on Laurent. Invite to Harpy Microns, yes. Give me Harpies. Best part of a mod is Harpies, hands down. My model is once again trying to escape into a different reality. I don't know what is so fascinating off the right side of the screen. We control this. You need a general, so you don't die to something random and stupid. Come on, 49%, win this. Get the fleet over here, help them out. We know where Laurent's army is, so we can be a little dangerous down here. Split our troops up. We can occupy faster. Colony is done, excellent. Start up the next. We now control province down there. We control province here. Oh, this is at 14%. We need this siege. Thank you. Go stop them. And go blockade Riveria's ports, because I need positive war score. We've taken a loan. Okay, we are now actually starting to bleed a little. Go sit on that. Actually, no, this one's got the general, so he should go sit on that. We have lost the siege in the far north. And the admiral is dead. We've got so many spare dudes. Oh yeah, before I forget it, split off 3 light ships to go exploring. Because I will forget to do that if I don't set them aside now. Now control the province, excellent. Okay, Lauren's army is starting to move back south. Means we need something decisive soon. They're willing to need at least 10 war score to make demands. If I get 10 war score, that leaves me at still minus 100. Yeah, up to 33, I don't think that's realistically happening. You willing to give me any money? No. Do I take surviving a war against Laurent as a victory? Or do I try to face the 40k sacks? Defensive ideas, economic exploration. They get cavalry combat and infantry combat and morale of armies and attrition for enemies and discipline. I do not want to fight Laurent any further right now. I will content myself with a draw against Laurent. Now, the question becomes how much of Riveria can I take before I get the coalition to end all coalitions? Not this much is the answer. Not even slightly this much. Iran, Riveria, Evanar, Palantir, Azraport, the Vanbury Guild, yada yada yada. I don't care about any of you guys. Can I take that city? Hell's Edge and Laurent and Garwood. No. This... Hell's Edge and Garwood. Just Garwood and Laurent. 3 provinces. Taking land in Italy is what it feels like. I don't like it per se, but I think I'll have to settle for it. Yeah. Three provinces is good enough. It's only a start, really. The second merc stack was probably overkill, that's unfortunate. Alright, let's get all this sorted out again. Hey. The Crimson Deluge is over, nice. Okay, Laurent, beatable. We came out on top on that war. And we can go back in on Riveria soon enough. $1547, that's not so far off. Got a troll refugee, let them in. Consolidate you into a single stack. Our force limit is 84, so we really should be able to field much better quality stacks than what we've got going on at the moment. So let's put a little time and effort into improving our army, and then we should be also much better able to win the next war. Garwood is scaling out of control, and I'd like to stop them from doing so any further. Eureka. Another artifice invention. Empire engine. Core creation costs. Oh, we always want core creation costs. Absolutely. Our crown colony, New Widderchand, has declared war on Maliand. Okay, so they can declare war on even non-native countries as long as they're in the New World. That's excellent. That means our massive colonies are going to be able to just roll over everyone else. Speaking of which, I have to go and deal with these guys, because we're not settling in this area right now. I could also just not expand in every direction simultaneously. If I simply let this up here finish and form a colony, Hierarchs has ventured into Cab Ob on Fall in the province of New Nimscod. New Nimscod is this one, and you've taken Cap Ob on Fallen, which is this. The province is owned by New Nimscod though. Just don't be annoying, please. We can seize land and then press this button when I no longer care about them being upset with me. Alright, war extortion is high. We've got to let that tick down for a little while. Benal is still disloyal. We can fix it. Sort out your rebels before you come complain about me and what I'm up to. This war next, but after a period of recovery. I meant to do a little bit of waiting and healing up anyway, but when I saw that Riveria was finally vulnerable, so I had to go for it. Now it doesn't really have periods of vulnerability. Defeating them is just going to be a question of being stronger than they are, which I think we can do. With the amount of money we get, we can just get mercenaries and be stronger. It shouldn't be too hard to pay our loans off either. Making 25 ducats a month tick, that's a good amount. Alright, our combat width at the moment is 27, so if I get like another 4 cav on each of these and then 4 artillery, that makes for 16 extra troops, which makes for 60, 74 total. These are with 10, which I'll split into another 2 cannons each and 3 infantry each. That sounds sensible. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then this will make it 5. And okay, let's send this guy down here and just hope he sticks. Hope that the colony grows quicker than natives can rise up. And then we don't have to worry about... no. Half around this, please, because you're going to trigger an uprising if you step onto that province. Okay. Money. We really need to hire a... what's it called? Inflation reduction guy. Cutting edge advancements. Brilliant innovations come to great fruition. Time for Gnome Showering to reap the benefits. I guess it's just an event that happens when you're either ahead on like innovativeness or when you've got a lot of artificer inventions. We are now at 83 capacity. Use our time from 1650 onwards. We're still a long ways off from that. I think the amount we're getting from precursor relics has gone up. You've explored all there is to reach. I guess these guys are actual nations that we can't just wander through in that case. Can I, first of all, get the transports off, then get you down here, see if you can explore the southern continent. It's a little more finicky in Ambernar, with this region being kind of split off from that region, and then these two being separate continents. And then in the base game you can just hit explore and they'll cover all of North and South America for you. Spend a whole bunch of crowns on increasing harpy tolerance. I love me some harpies. Harpies are fantastic. And I get 30 crowns a month, so if I just leave this to sit here, I'll have enough money to not take a loan for it. I'll do that. You're almost up on full. Is there another army here? Yeah, for some reason. Just decided to stick around over here. Raw exhaustion is still very high. We're probably going to have uprisings in these provinces. Possibly even before they get caught. Is this 12 years away? Okay, this is 1.6 years away. Yeah, they might rise up before that gets caught. Let's direct one of our... Or actually, since we're not using them to declare war right now, maybe we direct both of our 3 diplomats to outraged countries. I do still have 2 relationship slots, so are there any worthwhile allies? Lots of people who want to be my ally. But how many of you would actually be useful? Why import 37,000 troops allied with my ally Westham and in a coalition against Laurent? They will be helpful. Istralor. This is allied with Westham, that might be interesting. No one really. Doesn't really dislike Laurent. Who dislikes Laurent? Westham, Pearl's Edge, Garwood. Pearl's Edge doesn't want to ally me. Ah, 1 extra ally is good enough for now. Lots of stuff just happened. Let me just wait for this diplomat. Send them both off. Okay, first, colony self-sustaining. Good. Then Casus Bellis, that don't matter. And we've got Blebsenkend up here in the north. Beautiful. Our ships are currently already somewhere. They're moving that guy south. Once they're done with him, they can move this guy. He can sit on the colony here for now. 1 colonist is now free as well, so he can come over here. It looks like we might not need to attack these guys after all. With a little bit of patience, we're going to manage to form this colony with colonization instead of conquest. And I've got all the important locations that I can, so I don't need to prioritize anything. I'm going to focus on connecting up the land. Makes things a lot easier when you can march your guys from one place to another. General has died. We've got a spare one. Oh yeah, you guys should be drilling if I'm keeping my army maintenance up and we're at peace. Well, you've arrived. You can stay here a little longer, just in case. You will go kill that stack, and then we'll see if you can hunt for fragments of the Precursor Empires a little bit more. 37 ducats being brought in by trade now. 31 ducats actual profit. Okay, yes, you can. Build that workshop. Don't want to build any of that. Now I don't want to increase the size of the army too quickly because that will mean we make less money. But it has to be increased by at least a good amount. Once the manpower is there anyway. That's something I should look at. Can I get any good manpower buildings? Yeah, there we go. Gardens Bay, Full Ludwig, and Yondam Roy. Chibud. These are absolute nonsense words, but they're nonsense words that are close enough to each other that you get the distinct feeling they all come from like the same source. Yes, troll, sure. Integrate everyone. Normally I would have deleted this fort up here ages ago, but it really proved its worth in that war earlier. I do wonder if another fort on one of these places would be more valuable. Pillar of the Heavens. Right, we got that event earlier, like here somewhere? After directly confronting the Ruinborn with our need for the location of a pillar, the one we assumed to be their spiritual leader eventually relented and told us of the general direction that the tower lies in. Though we were pointed in the right direction, clearly the directions were off somewhat, as even upon arriving at the described location, we were forced to search around a much larger area. It seems that the directions weren't entirely accurate. Eventually, however, after months of searching, we arrived at our goal, the pillar, or at least what was left of it. Rather than finding a great tower piercing into the skies above, all we found was a hollow circle of marble, which appeared to be almost completely covered by the local plant life, surrounded by smaller chunks of marble along the undergrowth, leading away from the circle in what is almost a straight line. Although confirming once and for all that the tower indeed existed, it is clear to our expedition that during the ruin, the pillar must have been torn from its base and flung across the continent, leaving only a small circle of stone standing, as well as the rubble surrounding it. The question now remains, how shall we go about searching for the rest of the tower, assuming that the rest of the pillar remains, that is. Approximate the direction, follow the direction made up by the rubble, search for the magical traces. It's the most expensive, so I'm going to assume it's also the best. Or search for magical traces. We're making plenty of monarch points, so there's no real harm in spending them. How are we doing with that circumnavigation? Let's see, South Ocean of the Lost. Punctured Coast in Sahel. That might be this area I can't see down here. Yeah, it looks like it. We do have colonial range over here in the Sahel coast. Don't have it over here, even with that colony there. Pillar of the Heavens, Twisted Guardians. Although no effort was spared in searching for the rest of the pillar, our efforts, it seems, were in vain. Though there are certainly magical traces of the tower, they have been thoroughly scrambled by the sheer quantity of magical energy released by the ruin. Though we were set on the right path eventually, it took much time, energy, and sanity to decipher the correct directions. As we reached ever closer to our quest's end, however, the very landscape around us seemed to become stranger. Or is that what this down here is about, maybe? Our expedition began noticing plants that we had never seen before, some with roots that every so often burst out of the soil, as if rejecting it, some with leaves containing images of what appeared to be screaming faces, and a tree that seemed to be able to move so long as no one was looking. Okay. Weird roots, sure. Plants, leaves with screaming faces, that's a pretty big no. Trees that move when you're not looking at them, at that point you bail. You're in a horror movie, my friend. You need to go. Until eventually, not only were our fears confirmed, our nightmares... Oh, hang on, I skipped a bit. A tree that seemed to move when no one was looking. As we continued, a sense of unease began to permeate throughout the expedition, until eventually not only were our fears confirmed, our nightmares were made real. From seemingly out of nowhere, our expedition was ambushed by a pack of nightmarish beasts with an almost otherworldly appearance. They appeared to be griffin-like in nature, with their third bodies and 4 legs, but where there should have been wings, there were instead 2 massive flailing octopus-like tentacles. Where there should have been a tail, there was instead a stinger, like that of a bee, and where there should have been a face, there was only a single gaping, roaring maw. The fighting was bloody, and many on the expedition were lost, but eventually all of the twisted beasts were slain. All, that is, but one. Our expedition's leader managed to pin one down and eventually restrain it with magical chains. The question now remains what to do with the beast. No matter what we do with it, however, it seems almost certain that the pillar is close. Analyze it with magic, it's too dangerous to be left alive. See if it will lead us to the pillar. Analyze it with magic. So does it have something to do with the FLI roots modifier or with this wasteland over here? Hard to say. Could be either, could be neither. We've got almost all of the age objectives now. Ship cost, leaders are upkeep, leader cost, prestige per development is useless to our institution spread. Ship trade power propagation would be pretty good. Rebels rising up. Oh, and these are actually our rebels. Bavarian separatists, yeah. I expected as much. Let's just over here. Not onto the provinces themselves, I kind of want the rebels to kick off so that we can deal with them and then get the recent uprising modifier. Actually, while we're at it, we've got all the money but not really the manpower. I might have some slight OCD, I want to do things evenly. I want to give both of them 4 horses at the same time. Ease the tax burden. 1, 2, 3, 4. Cavalry. 2, 3. 1 more mantic, please. Get me some guys. 4. There we go. We really are struggling on manpower. Get another barrack set up. Another 2 barracks even, we can afford it. These guys rise up in 0.7 years. These guys in 4 years. But that probably won't happen, not with the guys suppressing uprisings. Oh, someone's risen up, but it's down here where I can't do anything about it. You've got enough guys over here already that it won't destroy the colony. And Westham is colonizing down here. Why? You've run out of stuff to colonize up here because Netcliffe has beaten us all to it. Laurent, Moonhaven. We're gonna need to conquer all this nonsense. Once we've properly recovered, and then fought Garwood, and then recovered from fighting Garwood, we clean up the inside of the ring, I think. And then we make our way through all of this nonsense and up north. And then we take this stuff. Then these guys. And then in order to take this, we'll need to be at war with the guys on the continent. So at that point things get messy. Supply limit, tactics, musketeers, give. I'm not waiting around to take Miltech for cheaper, I want that stuff as soon as possible. New ordnance base, sure. Give me more mill power, thank you. It hurt, but not that much. Okay, we finished coring those places. The rebels are still ticking upwards. I'm probably just going to provoke revolt. Unfortunate, but we're going to have to increase the aggressiveness and ferocity. Races have risen up. But in the other colonies, that's fine. Regular rebels have risen up. They don't stand a chance though. Okay, Housekeeper separatists are going to take an era and a half to rise up if they even do. I'm just going to provoke revolt. Get it out of the way. Another colony just finished somewhere, but I hit enter immediately. Is it this one? Yes, good. I can now get you guys down here and get this. Who's colonizing here? James, is that? And there's Vern. Everyone's down here. Oh god, I hate you all. Let them in, sure. This is all rightful gnomish clay. Okay, can we circumnavigate? Have we cleared... I know you can hit circumnavigate early, but chances of survival are a good deal better when you've explored all of the sea tiles. Alright, they're making the attempt. I don't necessarily know whether we're actually ready for it, but we're trying. I'm quite curious to see whether they actually make it. I mean, so far they've barely suffered attrition. And they're doing the worst of it first, all of this area around the Sahel where we don't have any provinces under our control. Yeah, following the coastal tiles. And then I guess from here they'll cross the sea in this bit and then come back around here. It's not that bad of a journey. I don't know how it compares to vanilla. Sure, troll refugees. We'll take them all. Okay, we're down to 70%. 60%, 50%, they're not going to make it. These guys are done for. 46%. They're cutting up here and then heading... Yeah, nope, did not make it. They have been lost. Fleet is still over force limit. I'm just going to split off 3 new guys. Come over here. Actually, take the Explorer. Give our actual fleet an Admiral, much better. And then get back to regular exploring. Regular survivable exploring. Alright, shame about that, but it was only the first attempt. A couple more of these. No production building. I can't remember when and where it was that I saw you're supposed to build them when they're better than 0.2, but I've stuck with it ever since. I think a colony just got destroyed here and I was not even paying any attention. 50 admin points or a whole bunch of money. I'll take the money, thank you. Alright, cool, you're here now. Get the transport fleet upgraded, I guess, since we can do so. Should I be buying any beads? Only got a couple provinces in a trade company anyway, so there's no real need for trade company investments. better off building a manufactory. There we go. Right, what's the next? Still printing press and global trade before manufactories. 1542, we're not far off. There is a chance that it spawns on my lands, but I really wouldn't bet on it. Global trade. Highest value trade node in the world is probably admin cost, right? Check the ledger. Trade nodes. Total. No, Everfill, then admin cost, then Dame's Crown. Oh, we're not even remotely in the running. It's a little embarrassing, to be honest. Start getting some cannons out for these guys. Okay, in order to get into the running, we need more control over Dragon Coast and we need more money going into it. Money going into it, our colonies will help with, and control, beating our enemies will help with. So, we gotta become stronger than Goward. Bit of deving will definitely help with that. Let's sort by cost. Have a couple of these grain provinces so that we get more manpower. Good. Bavaria, how long was the truce with you? Until 47, another 4 years. You're still only allied with Laurent, who have recovered fairly well from their subjects are all still disloyal. Okay, let's see volunteers, still no. With better combat stacks, I will be in a much better position to fight the next time. But looking at that does remind me that actually I've still got loans to pay off. 4 years at 30 per month should be more than enough to pay off all of our loans, and then we can take new ones. These are what, 263 loans? And we can now take 290 loans. A bit unfortunate that our what's it called stuff is still ticking up. Can we get that? Yeah, we can get that yearly inflation reduction going. Can we embrace green scale kobolds? Sure. And then we can promote him. There we go, everything's working as we wanted to. Research more artifacts. What we got? The view catcher again. Morale of army sword. View catcher, sure. That's here, here, and here. Yes, River Coast, actually, we need to... we'll call it. Right. Trade dispute. I wonder if anyone actually really uses the trade dispute CB. Monetary reparations, concessions of defeat, transfer 50% trade power, trade steering. Yeah, if you're like in the HRE or in Italy where there's a lot of trade money around and you don't want to take the huge AE, this can probably be a pretty good CB to knock someone down a little. Bavaria declare on Nordischen. On that gnomish nation up here. Defend against Riveria, defender against Moonhaven. Ooh, good luck. I mean, you're in a pretty remote location and you've got ships, so there's a chance you succeed. Oh, I have been live for 3.5 hours. That's a little longer than I actually planned on streaming on. That's what happens when you're having fun, time flies. Alright, so at the start of this session, we just finished taking Venal and lost Laurent as an ally. End of this session, we've got huge chunks of a new world under our control. We've managed to fight Laurent and Reveria. We're planning to take them on again. We're gearing up to become strong enough to fight Garwed. We're overall in a pretty good position. I have full confidence that we should be able to complete the mission tree and make this a successful run. Next time around, we're pretty much following the same pattern, so lots of war in the New World to make the colonies bigger, and then use the might of the colonies to get the Old World. It's going to get really messy when we come up here, because there's so many different countries here with so many different alliance networks, and at least one of them is going to end up allied to the Emperor. Uncertain at the moment whether there's going to be a League War. There's enough Coronite around that I think it's possible, but not so much that I think it's terribly likely. But then it's only 1543. Things might still change, you never know. For the time being, thank you all very much for watching. Let me have a look if there's anyone else around to raid. Is anyone I know on? Is anyone playing EU4? Looks like we do in fact have some people. Okay. Let me grab this person. / raid this person. There we go. Don't know who they are, but looks to be another VTuber, so hopefully you'll enjoy them playing EU4 if you've enjoyed this stream. I'm probably going to be streaming again tomorrow, but it might not be EU4. I'm not decided yet. I am enjoying this run a lot, but I've got a couple other things I want to do this week as well, some more world building related streams. So I'll see you tomorrow for whatever it happens to be. Thank you very much for watching.